slightly move that heat wave figure so it doesn't have that glare. Yeah, right, yeah. Do it. Perfect. Hey guys, Crew of Blind Wave, I'm Eric.
Aaron.
And we are here for Flash 100, episode 100. Congratulations to the cast and crew
100
of The Flash.
That's a lot of episodes.
That is a lot of episodes.
We don't even have 100 episodes reacting to The Flash.
We do not. We do not. But congratulations to them. It's a great achievement, but they better have fucking delivered, let me tell you that.
What? No, it'd be nice.
Last time on The Flash.
Don't make it mad, they'll take it away.
True.
Last time on The Flash, we had the learning of Cicada.
The learning,
right?
It was learned.
We have learned.
We had learned indeed.
He is the uncle. We also had Weather Wizard and the staff girl.
Weather bitch.
Weather Witch.
Witch. Sorry. Yes, we had her. We had him back for a little bit, which had a little bit more of him. He died, and then he didn't. He was a hologram.
Is he still in the pipeline?
He's not in the pipeline.
Or did they take him back to jail?
They probably took him back to jail.
Did they?
Yeah. They take everyone to jail now.
See, he showed up last episode. Maybe he'll show up this
Yeah,
episode.
no, they don't put people in the pipeline anymore. They just put things.
They did then.
They did for extra protection.
They took him back.
Yes.
Didn't she destroy that place?
Yep.
She destroyed the prison?
It's fixed. Flash came, fix it, 2 seconds. Yep.
I'm saying he might be in this.
He might.
You had him there for a little bit last episode, have him in this episode.
Yeah.
100th, you know? He was like, Weather Wizard was the first villain, not this one.
Not this one.
But he was the first villain.
Yeah. And we haven't really seen him for a long time either, except for this
Last
small
episode.
part. Yeah, true. Forgot. We had a poll last time, though, Aaron. What was it?
It was about Cicada. Now that we know his story, how do you feel about him? And we had 8% say I sympathize with him and agree with his reasonings.
Okay.
12% said I don't sympathize with him.
Okay.
Is that supposed to be I don't sympathize with him, but I don't remember those. And then, okay, yeah. And then 78% is I sympathize with him, but I don't agree with his reasoning.
I wrote exactly what you said.
I was confused because there was nothing after and I didn't know what was going on. All right, so I don't sympathize with him, and then I sympathize with him, don't agree with him. So a lot of people just don't agree with him, and they're like, oh, well, that's sad for him.
They sympathize, but they're like, yeah, it's stupid.
There's enough of a connection to be able to be like, oh, it sucks for him, but he shouldn't do that stuff.
One of the things that we talked about was like, how does that go from like what happened to kill all metas, including the ones that are saving people?
Well, because of the news. It's the news' fault.
Fucking news, man.
Just like in real life.
Fake news.
The news usually does.
Yeah, it's the enemy of all America, is what I'm told by my benevolent leader.
Who's what?
Continue. Don't get political, Aaron.
Whatever I feel like says I feel bad that this guy who was just getting his life turned around had it ruined by DeVoe and lost family to other metas. But going after everyone even the people who are trying to help and the ones who are just living their lives is not okay.
I agree. Thus, I cannot agree with him. Cicada, not that guy.
Sam says, of course I sympathize with him, but hating all metas for the actions of a few is extremely prejudiced.
I like the people that are like, oh, I don't care. I only sympathize. Fuck him and his niece.
Nathan says, no sympathy! We as viewers know that the Thinker is responsible for satellites and the Enlightenment, but Cicada is just assuming metas did it. As far as he knows, it could have been someone totally different.
True. Needs to be more skeptical of that, Cicada. Skeptical.
Amish Electrician says, I cannot agree with him, but hate is not the Amish way. Dip! I agree with him. All these metas running around thinking they're better than us humans, I say kill them all. There you go. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, fucking roaches.
No, those are the aliens.
Oh. Fucking, I don't know, fucking something.
And then Joel says, Agent Liberty's backstory was better.
Agreed, Joel. However,
I think they spent much more time on it and it felt more natural. This one
had the benefit of being an entire episode by itself.
This one had like 5 minutes of like, here's his backstory and why he hates metas.
Yep.
Get it? And we're like, not really.
Yeah. I mean, I do, but I don't agree.
I get him being angry and what happened to his family. I don't quite get why he's got to kill the Flash.
It's like he needs like someone to sit down and be like, dude, calm down. Yeah, you're right. Did the eye
Yeah,
twitch thing.
instead all he has is that doctor.
Yeah.
His manners are bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, let's look and see what episode 100 of The Flash has in store for us right now. I got it.
I mean, where are we going to find such a thing?
The future?
The past.
The past?
The past.
You've already come across everything that we need, right?
You're not gonna want to forget this.
Ha ha ha!
Ooh, the flash ring! Oh, there's stuff!
Yep, thank her. Iris, thank her. When he's in
Prison.
jail, when
The
he
letters.
out.
The first vagina.
Come on, Aaron, let's go. Fuck.
Get hide.
He's seen. Aaron, be quiet so he doesn't turn around. Time Wraith! Oh shit!
no,
Oh
dude.
shit!
I don't know what's gonna happen.
What? Is it still there? Okay. Yeah, get it out of there before it disappears.
Joe! Wait, what?
She's doing her thing.
Oh!
Whoa!
It's a neat power. I'm like,
How does it
look.
work?
It's there. Look at it, Dexter.
Oh, he's back there! Zoom. Shit.
Here, I got it.
This is the scariest one.
Dad,
Is it?
I'd sabotage.
No.
He's gonna get seen by somebody, isn't he?
Wait,
Where'd it
is
go?
it? Someone already took it?
Where is it? Oh.
Harry.
Uh-oh.
Harry's gun.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Right.
Zoom has Caitlin, and this whole thing is going to hell in a handbasket. Wait.
The flash
Ring.
Frequency. What? Jesse's frequency. People from Earth 2 vibrate at a different frequency. Maybe you could track her that way.
Be careful, man.
Did you get it?
I got it. It's about this thing.
Oh, fuck!
You're not going anywhere.
Oh, fuck, Aaron!
Oh, you're faster now, right? He's faster now.
And who is this?
Dude, they brought him back.
Oh, fuck!
How fast are they? How fast?
Zoom is chasing Barry and Nora again.
Oh, no, that's bad.
Listen to the theme music, Aaron.
Oh, time race, get Zoom.
Again?
Yeah! Wait, that's gonna fuck up time, isn't it? Oh, God.
Unless it's a remnant. He has like 10.
Oh, no, get that. Is it broken?
Fuck, that was so cool.
That's not Wells. That is Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash.
I know, it's just that he's really smart, so I thought maybe we could convince him to help
I
us.
think she's working with them already.
The only person Thawne ever helps is himself.
Season 2, 3?
3 years ago, I traveled back to this day to get Thawne's help.
Oh.
That's the future Barry that came back.
Oh my god. Oh my god, we're getting every villain. I remember.
That's future Barry. And then there's future Barry.
It's season 4 Barry, right?
Look!
Or 3? Oh fuck.
Wow. Things just got a lot more complicated.
Yeah.
It's, Dawn. I'm mistaken.
What?
Nora.
Don Allen.
Nora. That's nice. At least you still have one.
Huh?
What? Nora. Time travel so
You still
weird.
have one.
One Nora?
One daughter?
Fix this.
One Nora.
Easier.
Dude, you're gonna fuck.
You don't get home. I get home.
You don't get home, you can't say that.
I go home. I get home.
He knows. They went through this like before.
He's gonna wake up soon. He sees me standing here. Your whole timeline is gonna be blown to hell. You're never gonna get home. You know that's true. I know.
Well, I mean, villain.
Being Reverse Flash.
You're gonna actually have to have his dagger in your possession. You got that covered. You got that covered. How's that?
With this.
Quit saying shit to the season 1 villain.
Used to say Abdulr suit, yeah.
Clever girl.
Clever girl.
Oops.
Hey, Dad.
It's time to go back to the night again.
The first night. Think we'll see Ronnie?
I don't know.
They gotta go in the accelerator, right?
Dude, she has some history with him already.
Already?
Yep.
No. Yes, but no.
Yeah,
They're from the future.
I know.
So yeah, they gotta have a history. Grodd? Grodd?
Before he changed, oh buddy, you're gonna have some tough years, man.
The accelerator is.
Huh? Oh fuck. Oh fuck. They fucked up. They fucked up.
What happened? What's happening?
He still has to do it. I've always seen you. That's kind of a son. Oh my god. That's exactly what I was feeling.
Did you? I didn't.
I know he was your arch enemy.
He killed your grandmother.
He killed my mother.
She doesn't know that.
I don't know how. We gotta be in the Flash
When I
Museum.
was 11 years old. An 11-year-old boy.
You gotta get out of here before that. It's man, the whole Aaron
Stein.
Oh my god.
Thinker.
Aw, seeing Stein.
Barry.
Weather wizard. Oh, the cow looks good there.
You ready, Barry?
Wait, they've changed it up a bit, haven't they?
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Made some adjustments to the suit. I wanna know if Caitlin has powers. Because she's not really meta.
Doesn't work.
Being sucked in. Maybe. Oh yeah. Careful, careful.
Oh my god.
Where do you send it to? Where'd it go?
Gotcha.
Alright, Hellworld is where I would send it. Hellworld.
like you're having a day.
He's gonna summon it from space. He's gonna summon it from space.
Why didn't you send it to another Earth?
Satellite's tracking the dagger back through the exosphere.
Yes,
There
Caitlin.
we go. I say she should have her powers.
Because she's not
She's not a meta.
a meta. Well, she is.
Dude.
She's a meta, but she's not a
Meta.
yeah.
How does one learn something like that? Time travel school?
I created it, actually.
Clever girl. I forget myself.
Huh?
This is yours.
Is he Reverse Flash? The timeline is malleable. Huh?
I don't know.
Huh?
No, don't go back.
She's gonna go back.
No, don't go back.
She's going back to the night. Oh, okay, Barry came. You followed her. Oh my god.
Do you ever think about stopping what's about to happen?
Yeah, a couple times.
Every day.
Hey, old man. Come on. Come on.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Good evening, Nora West Allen.
Gideon, another data entry.
Entry uploaded and recorded. Shall I send it to the same recipient?
Yes.
Entry sent. Would you like assistance with anything else?
Actually, I'll deliver it myself.
She's in the future.
Is he going in reverse?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, 2049! He's in prison.
Why did he get access to any of this in prison?
Yes, Nora.
I know, oh my god.
as we do.
Oh my God! I knew it! Real quick before we get into the episode, Ultra did send us over a Google Doc here that has like exactly who we're seeing in that teaser for next week.
Okay.
With reference footage or photos so that we can actually see like the costumes and stuff. First one obviously was Stargirl. We knew that. Second one is Huntress. It's not perfect, but the jacket, the mask, and the hair all match, like in terms of the shape of the outfit and stuff like that. So it could be Huntress, which we haven't seen her for a while. Obviously, Firestorm is next. This one we couldn't figure out is Obsidian from the Justice Society of America.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not recognize that helmet, but the helmet and the collar thing match pretty perfectly, as does the sleeve and stuff. So
Yeah, the main thing was that helmet looked weird. I couldn't figure what that was.
couldn't figure it out. This one is the Ray with the hair color. It doesn't match, but the costume matches with the lines going down the shoulders.
Yeah. Well, I mean, different people can be different
Yeah.
heroes and stuff.
It's just the costumes. Yeah. Jesse Quick, we got that one. We have Hawk helmet. Two of them. We have Ray's helmet. Hawkman is the actual person there. We have Captain Cold. And then we missed this, but if you brighten up the corner here, you see a sleeve of Mr. Terrific. Possibly, but it's what it looks like there. And then, of course, Smallville Green Arrow. And, that's the original costume there. And then, John Wesley Shipp as the Flash. So now we know after we've seen it 3 times. But thank you for putting that together, Ultra. Okay.
It's weird having that same thing 3 times at the end of each show.
Well, what I think it is, because I was thinking about this today, I think that what they're doing is like if you're watching Supergirl.
Yeah, if you don't watch The Flash and Arrow and you just watch one of them, you see it.
It's also one of these things where like if you're binging just Supergirl and then just Arrow and just, like one after another rather than doing them all at the same time, you can be like, oh, okay, this was whenever that crossover happened in the next episode. You know what I'm saying? So they can do it that way too. I think it's just kind of like a bookmark. And it's to hype people up that just don't watch Arrow, but they watch Supergirl, or don't watch Flash, but they watch Arrow. It's like, oh, okay, well, we're getting into one of those things. I think it's what it's supposed to be. Anyway, Flash episode 100. We certainly did the gauntlet.
It was really cool. I like going through. I mean, the only thing we didn't revisit, I guess, was the Thinker. But
Yeah.
we did see him. But
We did see him. I guess considering that, like, what we're going through here is a direct influence from the Thinker with the satellite and all that stuff, I guess it's not too needed. But they mainly went after their Speedster villains. Which, I mean, I didn't expect a time wraith thing involved. That was cool.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if any of that was going to happen because, like, Nora's been around for how long, and there's been no issue of time wraiths or anything. So.
Well, I mean, see, Reverse Flash, he had the Black Flash chasing him. That was after Zoom
Isn't he
had been
like a
thrown in.
super advanced wraith?
He's pretty much Zoom. Like, I think all of the wraiths were speedsters because if you look really close at them, they have like Flash-like masks and stuff on them and stuff like that. I think Black Flash just hadn't degraded that much yet. Is kind of how it is. But regardless, I think it might have something to do with like when the Speed Force doesn't approve of your time travel, or when you're doing it with yourself or something like that.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean,
because it went after him when there was 3 berries in the same spot.
Yeah, but like it didn't go after Savitar, which he was back there interfering with himself.
Yeah. Maybe because Savitar. Maybe that's why he wears that suit.
Like, why was Black Flash chasing Reverse Flash in Legends all that time? It was
for him it was because he had been erased from the timeline, but he had time remnants, which is what the season 2 Legends was. So he was outrunning the destruction of himself.
Yeah.
Here I think it's just sometimes the Speed Force is like, don't do this, don't get this close.
I don't know.
Like, back up.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's just kind of like, I don't know why. Because, like, why did the time wraiths come out at the end with Zoom?
I think because he was making time remnants. Remember, we have no idea how many time remnants he made. He made one just to kill himself in front of Barry to show that he didn't give a fuck. Like, that one, that right there, that went out of time, like, is that supposed to be Hunter Zolomon, like the one that just ran away? Or that could very well be a time remnant that he had doing shit.
Maybe. I don't know. I was curious if that was going to be a thing, too, because, like, Barry and Nora fell out of time somewhere, did that mean that he fell out of time somewhere and went to a place he shouldn't have been?
Well, the time wraith got him.
Yeah, I know, but like, what did that mean? Does that not affect the past? Like, if that was Zoom and he left and then the time wraith took him away, like...
If it was like...
What happens then? And
if it was Zoom and it was the only Zoom, you know?
I don't know.
However, what was the thing here when it was like time is malleable? In Nora's notes, that Sherlock... And what is going on? Because didn't Sherlock kind of... I'm asking so many questions, I'm sorry. What's going on with the time is malleable? And then Sherlock and Reverse Flash both, and without his accent, referred to her as clever girl. Didn't he?
Without his accent?
I didn't hear his accent when he said clever girl. He didn't do that. He said clever girl. Right? Am I crazy?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I think you're crazy.
I mean, granted, his accent's not,
I don't know if you're wrong about this, but I think you're crazy.
But I am crazy.
Yeah.
It's not like his accent
past
is...
it.
I don't really hear the accent.
It's in the clever. Maybe not in the girl, but he has the...
He said it exactly like a French Reverse Flash would.
What does that mean?
He whispered it.
So?
Reverse Flash whispers when he talks.
Well, I don't know. So not only is the Reverse Flash in the future manipulating Nora, he's in the present manipulating Nora.
Could he be?
And he's in the past manipulating Nora.
Could he be? Yes. Is he? Probably not.
I'm just saying.
I just thought it was a weird thing. Like in the moment, I'm like, wait, what? And then they show the other thing, and I'm like, okay. I still don't understand what this was. Maybe it's just supposed to be like a red herring. You don't know what's up, and then, bam, he's in the future in prison.
Maybe just
and he's affecting Nora.
Maybe it's just overthinkering.
It might be overthinkering.
It's like whenever it's like I like when I was caught off guard whenever Reverse Flash like Dawn, isn't it? It's like, oh, what? Dawn, and it's like Nora, and it's like, oh, Nora. Well, at least you have one, and then you're like, what? And I'm like,
no, I think you're
Nora.
I think you're wrong about that. I think he's talking about you at least have one, as in he still has one daughter left.
Maybe, but
because if you remember,
he didn't say that until the Nora part, and there's been so many Noras.
I know this is gonna get crazy, but we have to remember that Reverse Flash is from Barry's original timeline, not the Barry that we know, right? Because like the Barry that came back to save his mother when they were fighting Reverse Flash is Barry that becomes Flash years after the Barry we know, right?
Yeah.
So it's already another timeline. So that Reverse Flash is from an original timeline that might have different daughters, different children. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Like the Barry that came back to that warned Barry not to do anything, you know?
Yeah, that's our Barry from the future.
It's not. It is our Barry from the future, but it's a different Barry that becomes the Flash much later in his life. So could becoming the Flash much later in his life affect how many or like any kids that he would have? Does that make sense?
I don't know. The whole thing of killing Nora doesn't make any sense because when he goes back and saves Nora, he doesn't become the Flash. Like when he did the Flashpoint, he didn't become the Flash, right?
Yeah.
He didn't get any powers.
Yeah.
And then he had to go back and kill her so he did become the Flash. So the idea that Reverse Flash has to go back in time to try to stop the Flash from becoming Flash creates the Flash.
Yeah. Well, that's his big fuck up.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm saying like he.
But what I'm saying is that he's not from, you know, like his arch nemesis is a different Barry in the timeline scale than ours.
I don't know. I feel like it's just the future of our Barry.
It's not, because
It's like one of those things that has always happened to make this happen. Thus, it's always been this way.
Well, no, because season 1, that storyline would never have happened to the original Barry Allen. Because Reverse Flash would never have gone back in time and made him become Flash sooner and do all that stuff.
Or it always happened, just like Savitar.
Time is malleable.
Why are you bringing that up?
Because it's an episode.
You don't know what that means. You're just saying it because you don't have an answer.
I think it makes sense, right? There is a version of Barry Allen in the timeline somewhere that becomes Flash much later in his life. And that's the Barry that Reverse Flash and him
we've never
fight
seen
each
that.
other.
We've never seen that.
What do you mean?
We've never seen a Barry that becomes Flash later in his timeline. We've never seen anything like that.
We have seen him.
Well, you say that, but I think what we've seen is the Flash that we're seeing from the future, because we've gone back in time and stopped the mother from dying.
Yeah.
And Barry never became the Flash.
Nothing of that negates that at one point there was a Flash that became Flash naturally and not to the influence of the
If it should be
particles.
naturally, then if he has his mother and father, then that should have been the natural course of Barry, but it didn't happen. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know.
You don't know what?
I don't know that. What I do know is that there is a Barry that becomes Flash years after this one does. Like, originally. Like, the OG timeline. Like, you're trying to say that you don't know if that exists. Like,
I don't know
has
if it does.
to.
It doesn't have to. Savitar didn't.
I mean,
Savitar was a loop in the way that I'm talking about, where there's like, this just always happened,
Sure.
so this always happened. It's like, well, but that doesn't make sense because...
Okay, well, let me say this. It has to have existed at one point and may no longer exist.
I don't know if that's true, given Savitar.
Okay, we'll drop it then.
You
I don't agree with you then. Because it has to have existed at one point.
Then how does Savitar thing happen?
I don't know.
That's just a loop that doesn't make any sense. There's no beginning or end. It's just a loop.
Well, couldn't the end or the beginning be overwritten by the loop?
I don't know.
Like when I start a circle, like I start it, and then as I keep going around the circle, you don't know where, like the beginning is gone. You know?
It was up here.
Yeah, but it was there, is what I'm saying in the analogy. So it did exist, and Nora and Thawne has proven that regardless of when he gets erased and shit like that, he still persists, he still lives on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, like, he is the Reverse Flash of the original timeline. If anything, he's the only thing about that original timeline that still exists. Unless we're going into like a more of like a Dragon Ball Z splintering timeline thing where they all exist, they just can't, cross over. But at the end of the day, getting back to it, the last time we saw Reverse Flash OG from Earth 1 was the crossover last year, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's like, I'm straight from Earth 1 is what he had said, right?
Yeah, but from what part?
I assumed that he was just a time remnant.
Because I mean that was the Harry Thawne, not the Eobard.
Yeah.
Eobard.
This is one that persists after that. Let's just assume that the one that Barry lets go in the crossover in this one's the same one, I guess.
Didn't we assume the one he let go in the... Wait, you're saying the one that he lets go in the crossover?
Last year's crossover.
That escaped from the Nazis.
Yeah. He's not the same one as season 2 Legends of Tomorrow. That one's a time remnant that eventually gets caught.
Well,
There was also like a million time
which
remnants.
one's the one that's from the Flashpoint that he had trapped in there and then he let him go too? Wasn't that the one that we assumed went to Legends?
I think so. But then that one creates all those time remnants. There's like 100 of them, and then Black Flash kills them all, right?
I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe he did.
At some point, just like I assume Zoom has done, he's splintered off. And I even talked about this. Like, why don't you just make a time remnant put in the closet just in case? I can imagine a villain doing that.
Closet remnant.
But let's just say that one and the one we saw here in 2049 is the same one. He's like, I wonder which face I'll be wearing next time, It's like, the fucking same one. Because he's wearing that same one.
So the one from the Nazi one is the same one as which one?
The one we're seeing here, I think.
The one in prison?
2049.
In his future or in his past?
I think this is the future. I think this is one that knows everything, not necessarily... Because he has to have come back to the past to get Harrison Wells' face.
But is the Nazi... Yeah, I mean, he has Harrison Wells' face there. But is the Nazi Reverse Flash the future of the imprisoned Reverse Flash or the past of the imprisoned Reverse Flash?
He's the past of the imprisoned Reverse Flash, I think. I think we're catching up to him. I think that would make sense, like storyline-wise.
So this is after he's came back and done the killing of the mother.
Yeah.
But he never goes back. And he dies because Eddie kills himself.
Mm-hmm.
So how does he go there?
How does he go where?
To the future to get imprisoned.
Well, I think if I'm keeping everything straight, then this one is a separate splintered remnant than that one that was killed then with the Eddie stuff. His timeline is very confusing to the point of just don't think about it. Watch. But I think that can make sense. Doesn't necessarily mean it's true, but I think it can make sense.
I don't know. It is weird that he has Wells's face
and not Matt Lasher. Is that his name? Lasher or something. I know that guy's on Narcos right now, and it's really easy to get Tom Cavanaugh for the Flash.
He's on the show.
So I don't mind. I loved Matt, and especially season 2 of Legends.
Well, I
think he's great.
If you had Matt in this scenario, you could be like, oh, this must be him before he goes back to the past.
Yeah.
And then gets caught in season 1.
But this one proves that this is one that, at the very least, is after season 1.
It makes no sense
events.
why he would have his face unless season 1 had already happened. But then that he would have gotten erased. And then when we saw him afterwards, he was usually the other face, but then the Nazi one had his face. I don't know, it's weird.
Yep.
I don't think Sherlock is Reverse Flash.
If they didn't have that last scene and it just had the clever girl thing, I would have been like, that's weird. Why do that? That's an intentional thing they did. Have Harrison Wells Reverse Flash say clever girl, and then an alternate reality and does the same thing. Like, you could say, well, yeah, they're the same person, but they're not because one's masquerading as Harrison Wells.
Just smart people both think that she's a clever girl.
And I've seen Jurassic Park.
No Jurassic Park.
No one that says clever girl has ever referenced it and never thought of Jurassic Park, ever.
The people who hadn't seen it did.
Nope. They don't say it. They say it like, you're a clever person, you're smart.
No.
Yep.
No.
Nope.
To you. They're not
Exactly.
saying to you, clever girl.
I am the standard. Sir.
Your grandma just looks at you and you do something like, oh, clever girl. You're like, hi, Jurassic Park, it's me.
Right. What else, Aaron? This episode, to me, we saw, like, my favorites, Savitar, Zoom, my favorite, and then Reverse Flash, probably equal to Zoom in my, honestly. I really like the Speedster villains, even though I don't want to have too many. Mm-hmm. But I think shining a light on them shows, to me, kind of the, like, I don't get very excited for Cicada. I mean, his powers are so ill-defined and stuff that I'm just like, okay.
I thought their plan was good, but then why didn't he vibe it somewhere else?
He could have vibed it to any other Earth.
Like, if he vibed it to an
and there would
Earth,
be nothing you could do. Like, he took it to space. Put it to somewhere out and, like, put it on the other side of the universe, and it would take, 7 trillion years to get here. I don't know the limits of how far Cisco can go.
He can go to other Earths.
Yeah, but Earth is just a different frequency.
I mean, maybe he couldn't do the other Earths because of, like,
his injury?
hands or something. So space was the farthest he could get or something. I don't know. I don't get it.
While it was in space and coming back and Barry still had his feet, he should have ran him to the pipeline.
He should have taken it, and then Barry should have ran it to the future.
I don't know if Barry can touch it, can he?
Well, Vi did.
Oh, I know. It was coming towards Cicada, and he put a thing in front of it, right?
No, he grabbed it and
did he grab it?
And
yeah, you're right. I thought he put it in front of it
because it was stuck in the pillar.
Yeah.
Which is I was worried because he was grabbing it again. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it.
But no, like, take it, run to the future, leave it in the future. I was gonna say leave it to the past, but then it would be in the present if you left it in the past. Somewhere.
Yeah.
But if you take it in the future, there's at least 5 minutes or something where you don't have any.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do that. That could have worked.
Like, in all of the time that stuff was happening, everybody stood around and nothing. Like, Ralph could have wrapped him up. Cisco could have taken him to the fucking outer space.
Yeah, could you have, like, done. If you were punching him in the face,
yeah.
Could he summon it,
Yeah. Like, fucking phase his arms off or something, They just stood around and did nothing as he waited for it to come back from space. Anyway,
I like the process immunity, though.
Yeah, that's something you had said for a while now.
Well, mainly after having that one with her dad and stuff like that. Yeah. It's like, well, obviously her powers are just, they're made differently than any other, like, powered person we have. So can Cicada take those away? Mm-hmm. And he can't. So that's like a secret weapon. Well, it's not secret anymore. He knows. That's why he's hiding.
Yeah. It was cool. Like, that was a new shot of Teddy Sears for, like, a second. And then it became Zoom again. But it was cool they got Zoom and the voice back. Dude from Final Destination, right?
Oh,
Can't remember his name.
No, wasn't he from Candyman?
Well, he's that too, but he was the The guy that ran the crematorium in Final Destination. That's where I know him from.
He was much more featured in Candyland.
I never saw it.
He's like the main villain.
Yeah.
Like, he was weird. He had a hook. He was made of bees. Came out of the mirror or something. It was weird. There's like
He's also in The Rock. He's more famous for The Rock.
he is in The Rock. With all due respect, sir. I like that. No, it was neat with that. I think that last shot would have been new as well, right? With his parents. I don't think we've seen that before, have we?
No.
So that was John Wesley Shipp and whoever Nora is.
Yeah.
I don't know her name.
Yeah, that was a sweet scene.
But
Dude, if I could, I would do that all the time if I was a speedster. You know, it's such a side effect of Barry's power that he can go back and just, don't interact, but just witness things.
Yeah, but you'd have to pick and choose wisely.
I don't know.
Like he can't go
okay
back
there.
to that point again because then he will be there.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. But go back the next day. Well, it's like the only time they ever had wine on the porch.
maybe, I don't know. But you gotta pick and choose like where they're gonna be. That way okay, I can go to this time now and watch them do this. I can go to this time and watch
Just
them
wear a
do
disguise.
this. I can go to my parents' wedding. You can go there once.
No, you could be like every guest as long as you had a different disguise, and the person, the you that came before you didn't know that you're coming back.
You just go in there wearing fucking those glasses with the big nose
They're in
and a mustache.
Go to the future and get a hologram recorder disguising thingy.
Maybe go to Supergirl and get that human look-alike thing.
Yeah. What'd you think of the, new suit? It just got a couple of adjustments, but
The ears are different, aren't they?
they're a little different, and then the cowl is more of helmet-like, it looks like to me, than the previous one.
Yeah, it does look more helmet.
It has more of like a separation. It's technically like a line that just makes it way better for me. Because every time I've seen Barry in that suit this season, I'm kind of like, nope.
They gave him a new suit for the crossover.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, it looks too much like 90s Flash or something. We better make it a little different or something. I don't know.
They made a couple of adjustments. There's a little bit more leather in there, and then the way they still doesn't have the chin strap, but the helmet just looks so much better.
The ship doesn't have a chin strap.
Huh?
John Wesley's ship doesn't have a chin strap
He doesn't need it.
in any of his costumes.
Yeah.
Any of them.
We talked about it a little bit in the reaction, but the last time Barry did this, to go back to Harrison Wells' Reverse Flash, like he never reveals that Wells dies or doesn't get back home. The only thing Wells knows is that Barry is still alive, but that doesn't exclude Wells not succeeding. So whenever when he's like, I go home, like now he knows that he doesn't go home unless he just thinks that Barry's lying and tricking him again, So that right there is kind of like I hope you don't fuck up too much,
I'm trying to remember what happened with it. Because why did he help him then?
Let's see. He went back. Why did he go back? That was a Savitar
He
season.
went back for Savitar to learn how to do a move or something? To be taught something, right? Is that what it was?
Was it the tachyon device? No. I don't remember.
It wasn't to have him build something, was it? I thought it was to learn... dang it. I don't know what it was for. Because he went to the future to figure out about Savitar and how the future was
Then he
gonna
met
be.
Emo
Things were
Barry.
terrible.
Yeah.
And you're an armless vibe.
And Wally was in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Then he went to the past.
I can't remember exactly why he did. I just remember us talking about like, well, doesn't that fuck things up? No, because you never said like you lose or anything like that.
I thought he knew something was wrong.
Just that Barry lives through their
Is
encounter.
that what it was?
I mean, the reason he was doing all this was because he couldn't get back to the future, but Barry could. So he was trying to make Barry early so he can get back sooner and have to wait even like 10 more years. It was never really to kill him, though he hates him,
Yeah.
I loved that scene with Reverse Flash and Cisco in the hallway. He's like,
Yeah.
that was good.
It's very alluding to the first season.
Yeah. One of the best
They
scenes.
kind of had like
in
a
the
little
show.
speechy moment stuff with it where, you know, it was kind of similar with that, but then, yeah, his handshake thing was just kind of like,
Yeah.
well, that's very...
Yep.
I was waiting for him to start vibrating it.
We had Gideon, and not only did we have Gideon, but we had like what looked like kind of like the updated Gideon from Legends. But
The newer again, yeah.
But once again, she gets cut off from saying a superhero team.
What did you say about Legion?
Yeah.
Was it reborn or rebooted?
Yeah.
Legion?
Which I would assume to be Legion of Superheroes. The same thing like Brainy's from, just a different universe. But this has happened to her once before, which is like Barry Allen, founding member of the
Just
when he's a
the what?
Finish.
The what? No, nothing. We don't get to know nothing.
I liked how Reverse Flash was like, oh, the one who got away about Cicada. Because obviously he knows, you know.
Well, he was never caught in the Flash Museum.
Yeah.
That's what he would know is what happened
Yeah.
in the Flash Museum.
You know, it's just another further piece of evidence that we've used before is that, you know, she's always talking about the Flash Museum and the stuff that's in it. And he was like a curator of the Flash Museum in his original storyline. You know, we haven't gotten that story yet in the Flash, but I think it fits, and why he knows Barry and his Rogues Gallery so well.
Yeah. He knows a lot about
Remember when he recognized DeVoe? Like we had the story last season about how DeVoe got his powers, and Reverse Flash
when
sees
he was
him,
talking to him, right?
and he recognizes that it's him.
What was your name? Like DeVoe or something like that, and he's like,
Yeah.
like he like nodded or something like that.
But yeah, I think that's probably everything I have here. I mean,
I wonder if we'll get more out of the book and what the time language does. That way it was like time language, and it was. I wonder how Barry got it out of. I guess the Speed Force would know the
Speed
time
Force.
language. Like Nora learned it through the Speed Force.
I think
maybe?
Nora based that language off of something that's kind of existed that Barry was, you know, cocooned with or whatever.
Cocoon.
Yeah. Whatever he was when he was in the Speed Force for that summer, you know. And then the last thing is I'm really left with is that time is malleable, and what does that mean going forward? You know, now that we're in the second 100 episodes of The Flash, like what does that mean?
Well, it means it's like malleable is kind of like a flexible and can come back kind of thing, right? Like you can push it and stuff and it won't break.
Yeah. So you can fuck with things and it doesn't destroy.
You can mess with things without breaking time.
Which we know, because we currently are living in a timeline that's post Flashpoint. He tried to fix, but it still has fucked things up, right? Like, you know, Cisco's brother had died when he shouldn't have, and that kind of thing.
Dante.
And then, again, like, there was an original timeline where none of this happened at this point. But
So you say, Eric.
yes. I think it's undeniable. But the fact that you're denying it makes it not undeniable. It's just, are you reasonable? Well, time will tell, Aaron. Okay, you guys want you want to check out
Yeah, we'll go
Q&As?
to Q&As and see what other people say about this episode. I think it was a pretty good episode. I like going back and seeing our past.
Mm-hmm.
And they could do more of it here than they could with Arrow, where Arrow was like, oh, the aliens are gonna mess with their minds and
True, but I will say Arrow had a more emotional gut punch to me. Like I got really emotional when they were both looking at the, you know, Henry and Nora on the porch. Like it really affected me. But even though Barry has lost people, Oliver has lost so much more. So when you see them again at the end of that episode, you know, it's just there's something really special and emotional about it.
I like seeing like it hit Barry there too at the
Me
end.
too,
And like
yeah.
Nora sees it and he's like, come on, old man.
Yeah.
You know? I like that.
But like with Barry, it's like, you know, putting a hand around somebody and it's like, oh, it's emotion. But Oliver's like a gut punch. Like, oh, emotion. Yeah. And they had that giant fight with all the villains. Deathstroke, Damien Dark.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Israel says, do you think that the episode was as epic as we were hoping? What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was when Zoom was chasing those two and he became like, for a second, you fucked up. You fucked up bad and he's going to take your speed. You know? That was my favorite part.
I think I just like seeing Kavanaugh as Reverse Flash again.
Me too.
I love the way his performances of it.
I love that as well. I mean, I guess it's not as rare to me as seeing Zoom again, just because we had him in the last crossover, and obviously we're going to be having him again in the Flash, which it's always going to lead up to the confrontation with Reverse Flash anyway. But yeah, for me it's the Zoom. Teddy Sears again was awesome. Nothing beats Zoom like just rampaging Flash and carrying him all around the city and just holding his body up by his spine, you know? Like, that's just the most threatening a villain ever been on the show.
That's terrible. All right, Ashwell says, do you think Barry doesn't come back from the crisis because Reverse Flash kills his mom, starting a paradox? The future Barry dies in the past, so what if that is why he doesn't return, and Reverse Flash couldn't get back either, so he became Wells?
So the crisis is the beginning of what we see in season 1, when they run back in time and fight in the living room?
Yeah, I guess that would be the conversation.
I mean, I've always thought of this show being one big giant loop in which Barry doesn't, like, in the comics, Barry gets lost in the crisis, becomes the lightning bolt that hits him, right?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if they'll go that way with this.
Spoilers.
But I like that idea. That's not too bad.
Becoming the lightning bolt that hits him?
Yeah.
Seems weird.
Well, I mean, it's Golden Age.
I guess.
Or Silver Age, or whatever.
I don't know. If that's the thing, then that would be in your original timeline. Why would there be a news article about it now?
I don't know.
Colt says, my hypothesis is that Thawne sent Nora to make Barry go back in time to help him in the future, but to also get himself home in the past. My brain hurts.
Well, I mean, nothing that Nora is doing influences that, right?
Doesn't seem to. But she is sending him information of some sort fairly consistently.
True.
So what's up with that? What's that for?
Yeah.
What is she sending him? Like, that was like 2 pages of stuff.
Yeah, they called it like a log or something, right?
It was like sending a new...
Data.
So, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on.
Data entry. Like, what does Reverse Flash need to know about this timeline in specific?
I don't know. Joseph says, are we to assume Zoom was taken back to his time? I'm sort of confused on what happened to him.
I would say, well, I mean, because they came back and everything's okay, I'm going to assume that it turned out all right. So we have to assume it was either that Zoom is a time remnant, which we know he had a couple running around, and they just killed him. But there's still the Zoom that's going to be playing the rest of the events of season 2. Or it just takes them like, no, come back here. We get you. Come back. Maybe come back. And they come back and they kill.
And in the season, that Zoom shows back up in the current timeline. Like
Yeah,
now.
that would be fucked.
Like, what the hell?
I'd be going crazy.
See?
And in Reverse Flash and Nora to stop him.
No.
Damn. You know, as much as I like the time race, it should have been Black Flash that attacks Zoom.
That could have been interesting.
That would have been cool.
Jared says, I had a thought. It's a little late, but why didn't Team Flash just use the hypnotizing phone from the reporter to make Cicada surrender himself?
They put it in the pipeline and...
Cicada
Yeah.
turns himself into the authorities.
We've talked about that in that episode. Like, just do that, you know? But, yeah, you don't want to go down to the... I don't know. There's not a good answer. Just forget about it and move on.
Xavier says, which 100 episode did you like more? Arrow or Flash? Or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Which one was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 100 episode?
Huh? When
That was the
Wilson went
wedding?
down and you had
Yeah, okay. I remember. Don't want to go too into spoilers. People that haven't seen it, go watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. One of the best shows ever.
Very good show.
Well, best in what standard? Like, looking back on a show in its history, characters that we don't have anymore, emotional feelings.
S.H.I.E.L.D. was pretty good.
I'm going to go S.H.I.E.L.D. I love these shows. I love all the shows, and I hate having to compare them to each other.
I know there were some
But
things
I'm
where
gonna-
after we watched it, we were like, well, I wish they would have had, this person have done
Sure.
this. Like, watching Flash initially, I wasn't like, man, I wish they would have had this guy instead.
Yeah.
Like, they could have had, they had Ronnie for a minute, but that was just, I think, old clips.
It was.
And then they didn't have any Eddie. Eddie could have
Yeah.
been cool to maybe show again, but they didn't have that. But no, I don't know. It's just I don't feel like in Flash, I'm like, man, I wish I would have had this guy instead of this guy. Whereas, like, I know in Agent Shield at one point, I was like, I wish I would have had this one instead of this one. So, otherwise, no, I think Flash was really good. I also think Shield was really good. I think Arrow was really good. They all really good for
Quit making us choose.
Their own reasons. So, Xavier.
Love you.
I was going to say, fuck off. Wilbur says, so the Harry we saw at the end was Reverse Flash, or do you think it was another Harry? And why did the sentence change when Sherlock ran the same program? Well, the sentence, I don't know if it was that it changed. I think the sentence was like something he had deciphered from the book.
That was just breaking the code.
Yeah. I thought he was maybe taking like what Cisco had and then using it to try to decipher what he had.
And in the end, it's Reverse Flash because Nora just gave all those context clues throughout the episode, being like, what's so bad working with him? Because she, in fact, is.
Maybe.
Which I have predicted.
Huh?
Weeks ago.
Yeah, everyone saw that coming.
I wrote it down.
What do you think about seeing Grodd? Little Grodd.
It's perfect.
Perfect?
Yeah, he's so innocent.
Just a little Grodd in there. Why the hell? What are they doing with that gorilla? Little baby gorilla.
They were doing experiments on him.
Why?
Because they're evil! Caitlin was nice, though. People always give him Grodd shit. It's not his fault all this stuff happened.
Isaac says, do you think that Dawn is Nora's twin?
I personally think that in the original timeline, Barry had different children. He might have had Nora and Dawn at the same time, but I think he's referencing that you've lost a child, but you still got one left.
I don't know. If you're looking at your method of this Reverse Flash is not from a time that exists anymore and he's from this new time, like it would just be that in his timeline he had twins, and in this one he just has one. Not that he has one left.
He doesn't have to have twins. He could have had just different children.
No. That he had twins, multiples. And
Does it have to be twins?
It does.
It could be.
It does.
But it have to be. Why does it have to be?
Why is that the thing you're picking on? Why is that the thing you're saying?
Because one absolutely exists and the other one is hypothetical.
It's all hypothetical. We have no idea. It is. What do you mean?
I don't know how to get this, but I don't want to be mean.
Him having more kids in the future, regardless of twins or not, is him having more kids in the future.
True.
Regardless. The twin thing doesn't matter.
You could have,
that's speculation, just like him having more kids is
Yes, the
speculation.
twin thing doesn't matter, I agree.
Both are speculation, right?
Yes, they're both speculation.
Yes.
But one excludes the other. The other one doesn't.
What excludes what?
Just having kids is just having kids. Just having twins excludes any other siblings outside the twins.
It doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't exclude having more kids. He could have twins and have more kids.
Yes.
Couldn't he?
Yeah. Sure. Okay. I was going with Occam's razor of it, but
okay.
I agree.
I know parents that have twins and more kids.
I know.
Okay, then we're good. Anyway.
Yes.
He has Dawn or any of that. Any other kids. Mm-hmm. Now he just knows he has one.
Yes.
So in that sense, there's not that one died and that he had Nora before. It's just that, well, at least you have one.
True.
But before, maybe he had more. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you saying one died, which is what it sounded like before you were saying?
I think that it could be one or the other. Okay. We don't know. Mm-hmm. But he said it in a very, malicious way, too. Didn't he? Well, at least you still have one, you know?
I didn't think so, but maybe.
I thought it implied a sense of loss.
I thought it implied a sense of, I killed your mom named Nora, and now you have Nora.
Sure.
That was my first thought. At least you have a Nora.
Yeah.
So, but if you have twins, if you say twins, then you know that you had two at the same time.
Sure.
Not like, well, they had another one later, and maybe he doesn't know about it or anything. You know he had two right here.
Yeah.
And now he has one. Or
let me rephrase then. I think it's more correct or more inclusive to say siblings than it is to say twins. Because a twin can be a sibling.
Twin would be a sibling.
Yes.
Not can.
But if you say twin, then another sibling is excluded from that. That's not a twin. Is what I meant when I was making the distinction.
If you say twin, then another sibling is excluded?
Yes.
Okay.
Like if you were to say that Dawn is a twin of Nora, that excludes the possibility that Dawn could have been just a sibling, but not a twin. So that's why I said I would say sibling and not twin, because sibling could mean twin or it could not. But twin
I
excludes
don't
the
think
other.
it could ever not mean sibling.
Yes, but it would be a sibling.
Sibling doesn't mean twin, but twin does mean sibling. Is that your meaning?
Yes,
Okay.
which is why I made the distinction. Let's move on.
Just seems like a silly thing to get hung up.
I think it's a silly thing to argue.
You're the one arguing it. I was just trying to say, everyone says twin. Like, I'm just going off the comic lore that you brought up that I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this lightning bolt thing. If that happens now, I'm just gonna be like, whoop, there it is.
It's such a common thing with the Flash.
I don't know the Flash
Okay.
comics.
All right.
Jesse says, I take it from early Thawne, seeing Nora and calling her Dawn means that she's lying about her name. If she's lying, isn't she risking her name being changed to Nora and not Dawn? Why is that future Thawne still had Wells' face as well?
I don't know about the face. I think it's just the ease of having the actor, and for us to realize where he is in his timeline. I don't think it's implied that she's changed her name at all. Possible, but I didn't take it that way at all.
Yeah, 'cause hashtag damn it Nora says, since Thawne called Nora Dawn, do you think instead of Dawn and Dawn, they're going with Dawn and Nora? Or was there just a change in the timeline and she was meant to be Dawn?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people are very curious on the Dawn thing, which is understandable. I feel like that, the Reverse Flash having a face of Wells, and what was the other thing? And then what happened to Zoom?
Mm-hmm.
Like three things is like, what's this gonna be? Could
Sure.
this be anything coming into the storyline later?
I mean, just real quick, the kid thing, we're unsure. The face thing, I mean, there could be a very good reason why he's stuck with that face. You know, like kind of like an Agent 33 thing in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where something happens and he's stuck there, or like Charlie in Legends.
Yeah.
And then with Zoom, I just, unless that Zoom that was taken out of that timeline comes to this time or after, nothing happened with it because everything's okay.
Does Flash have that Legends thing where like when they came here should have just been different?
The rules are different.
Yeah, I know. But like this Flash should have, if they did whatever, now would be different if Zoom was changed,
Yes.
right? There's no like cementing like Legends.
No.
It's just different.
Yeah. Yeah, Barry came back and everything was different. From Flashpoint.
I mean, if Zoom just disappeared from that moment, I assume not much would change.
If he is just from that moment, Barry might not have ever went back to... Because his dad hadn't died at that point. And he only went back to do Flashpoint after his dad died. So I think everything had to have happened at the same time, which is why I'm kind of leaning towards more of like that one we saw as a remnant. Because why does he run there and then come right back after he takes Caitlin, you know?
I don't know. Oh, Jared says, do you think that Team Flash could mix Barry's suit with Meditech in the future?
I
That could
don't
be
know.
neat.
Like to give him more powers?
Because, yeah, like you imagine if he had like, I don't know, weather powers built into his suit, or like that weird, I don't know what kind of tech they have or could come from having the Enlightenment, but
Yeah.
could you have more in his suit doing something?
I think they could. I just think like story-wise, they don't want to cross any kind of themes or anything like that.
Yeah.
They don't want to fundamentally change who the Flash is.
I guess so. They gave him fucking a balloon.
And they took it away.
Yeah, Xander says, what on earth happened to that Zoom? Was that Zoom a time remnant because the timeline didn't change? If so, does that mean there's a new Black Flash created? Like we got two Black Flashes running around?
Yeah. You know, this has been kind of like a point of contention among the fandom too. Like, is Black Flash dead? I don't think so, because he's not alive. Like, whenever Caitlin freezes him in the Savitar thing, like, I think that's just like, I don't think Black Flash is like an entity. I think that he's like the time race. He's just like a manifestation of the Speed Force and a slave to it. Like, I don't think Black Flash is dead and now another one has been created. personally. But I could see if they came out and said, no, he's dead, and that's it. I'd be like, oh, okay, well, that sucks. But in my hopes and dreams, that's what it is.
You mean dead like he's a zombie dead?
No, like dead as in when he got frozen by Caitlin, now Black Flash is dead. There's many people saying that. Which, if that was the case, that's why we didn't see him here. And now that they've taken a remnant, maybe that one can be a new Black Flash. I personally don't like that.
At least then we would have one.
True. If the original's dead. I just like the theme that Zoom, who thought he could destroy the multiverse and become the fastest man in the world, in the multiverse, becomes a slave of the Speed Force. Just a cool story.
Quantum's curious on the clever girl thing. Is it? I know the reveal of Thawne knows Nora. In the future is very big, but I think there's something sinister afoot. Is there a Sherlock Thawne? Is a throwaway line that all Wells share, or Thawne is already here. Also, Thawne had blonde hair.
He did.
Sort of like Sherlock's beard. I don't know, but I think it's definitely a possibility. Maybe it's obvious, or maybe I'm just looking into things.
I think it's a possibility. I think that it was meant to be a red herring, so that we're more off guard what we see.
Yeah, because then they showed the reverse flash afterwards.
It would also just be weird if Thawne is masquerading as a French version of Wells.
Yeah.
Like, the lengths that he went to disguise himself are ridiculous.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
I would imagine like going and I'm gonna be French Aaron.
Yeah.
Come back here. Keep you fooled.
It would just be strange. Like, I can see it happening in Legends of Tomorrow. Maybe not Flash.
Sean says, I can understand why Barry would know the speed language, or time language is what they called it, symbols, after seeing all of time in the Speed Force. But if Nora created the language, how was Earth 2 Harry using them after frying his brain with the thinking cap last season?
I think that, because Nora said she created it after studying, things, I don't think she's necessarily the author, as she's more of like a scribe that is recording things down. The Speed Force language might be deeper than her creating the symbols.
Maybe.
I don't know though. I'm not certain.
Christmas says, someone give Tom a fucking Oscar. But seriously, this episode felt so intense every time they jumped to another time. But Zoom, what happened? Did he get taken by time wraiths? Was it just another one of his decoys? I have questions.
Tom was awesome,
Tom
and
and I did really well.
And he directed this episode as well. So he acted in and directed. Did a lot of. We even had a Harry scene as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool stuff in there. So good job, Tom. But overall, the cast and crew of The Flash paid it to 100.
And I thought he did a good job directing. I don't know if he's directed other ones. I don't remember any right offhand. Like all that was, like Kevin Smith. I'm like, oh, there's the dinosaur one, and there was this one, but I don't remember any of his. And I thought it was done really well.
Yep.
Chief Chill says Jesse Chambers, aka Jesse Quick, aka Liberty Bell, and Danica Williams. So there's that one and that one.
Yeah, he was this kind of
people he was naming that were speedsters.
He was naming off female speedsters, and then a daughter, and then he goes for what's the twin name? First that he said. Dawn. Yeah.
Timothy says, at first I thought it was bad writing that Cisco breached the dagger into space and not another dimension. Then I remembered he hasn't fully recovered his powers and probably couldn't. Do you think the writer's depowered vibe to eliminate that as an option?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, if that's the reason, at least then I can be like, okay, that's why he didn't send it there. He sent it as far as he could, which was just space.
I mean, send it to the sun. Or like, how about like send it to the pipe? Like, can it go through the pipeline doors? Can he breach it into like a lead box or something that, regardless of how much he sends for it, it can't get out? Like, he sent it to somewhere with no barrier space.
I don't know. Did you see when it hit the pillar? Like, it just made like a little crater in it?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have a crazy box to be able to hold it, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Send it to the center of the Earth. Can you do that? Can you breach it to the middle of the Earth?
Probably.
That'd be a place to put it.
Or in the sun.
Yeah, I don't know how far he put it.
Yeah.
The sun could melt it, right?
Probably.
I don't know. What's it made of? some fake shit.
The sun?
No, the dagger, not the sun. Charles says, do you think Barry and Nora going back in time will be having any consequences in future episodes? Is there anything they did that would have... My first thought is the Zoom thing. If somehow that could come back and something happens there.
Again, I would think that if something does affect from the Zoom thing, it has to have... He has to have been taken out of time and placed at this point or onwards, not like in the past. Or else things would already be fucked up. Like, nothing has changed, so maybe if he was taken out of time, he was taken to season 8 or something. You know?
Maybe. I can't think of anything else then, except for if the Reverse Flash thing is a thing, where he's like, you don't get home.
Sure.
But I don't know anything else I could do. Charles says this. I wanted to see Eddie so bad this episode. No Eddie, sorry.
Don't get me wrong, that would have been great, but the person that really deserves to have been in this and that is Joe.
Yeah, I did miss Joe. We got to see him for like a minute in the Zoom episode-y part of it, but no, Jesse Martin would have been... I would like to have seen him.
If I had to pick one person to put in, it'd probably be him.
Yeah. I know he's recovering from his stuff. We're not probably not gonna have him in the crossover either, so that's kind of sad too. Because was he in the last crossover much? I'm trying to remember. Like, we had Captain Lance, who was like a bad Nazi, and
I don't remember.
I don't really remember him in the last crossover. So
was he at the wedding?
He had to have been at the wedding.
I mean, I know that Wally was there, but I can't remember Joe.
Whatever I Feel Like says, what do you guys think about the possibility of Nora being Thawne's daughter and not Barry's?
She looks too much like Iris.
I mean, you get the colors of the lights and stuff, and you got... I don't know. I don't think so. I think having that as like a plot twist and you have all this build up, and if that was the case, why would you come in hating your mother?
Yeah.
If you're going to be pretending, you know?
Yeah, that'd be too much.
So, Matt Lesher.
Yeah, Lesher. What did we say?
I don't know. Hef says, I was hoping Matt Lesher would be in this, but Tom Cavanaugh never disappoints. Now that half the season has passed, how do you feel about it in general? And what are your feelings towards Nora and her evolution so far?
Liking it more than last season, even though I like season. Well, we're at the break, pretty much, because the next thing is a crossover, and then we have the thing. It's not half, because we do like 22 episodes, and this is only episode 8.
8, right? Yeah.
But we're close.
Season's been pretty good. I've enjoyed it. It's been better than some previous seasons, but there's some other seasons I liked more.
Yeah.
Nora has been interesting. I think they've done enough where it's not like, well, you got a Speedster, do something with her. Yeah. You know, like with Wally, sometimes it was like, he's right. What are you doing? Yeah. Use Wally. Use your speed. There's still the times when you're like they could run and catch the
Cicada. Like, fucking get up, do something. Yeah, no, I get
There's nothing going on. But besides that, like, it's done fairly well. I've enjoyed most character story arcs.
Yeah.
I haven't hated, like, well, why is Caitlin looking for her dad? Or, you know, Iris, she's leading the team again. You know, all of it seems to be pretty good.
Sure.
Taz says, when Gideon said she recognized Nora as the 5th recruit of the rebooted Legion of, what was she going to say?
Superheroes.
He wants to know if he's going to say superheroes or Doom.
That would be some shit.
The 5th recruit, rebooted Legion of Doom.
I mean, we had a Legion of Doom already, so a rebooted Legion of Doom will be interesting. But no, I think Legion of Superheroes. Just a future Justice League, pretty much.
Orchestra says this episode was great. Tom Cavanaugh playing 5 different characters. Just remind me how great of an actor he really is.
He's great, and they're all distinct.
He was Sherlock. He was Harry. He was Reverse Flash. And then he was further back Reverse Flash. Then he was
Future Reverse Flash.
Future Reverse Flash?
Yeah.
Storm again says, Barry told Nora, I'm glad you came. Which is also the name of one of the songs Grant Gustin performed in Glee. It was.
Huh.
As a warbler. He was a warbler. They were an a cappella group. It was really cool. Someone's asking if Zoom looked different. I don't think so.
No.
I think it looks the same.
I mean, any minute differences that would have happened is just production.
Yeah. Jonathan was just asking if is it just me or does Zoom look different? I think it looked the same.
Yeah. I loved hearing Zoom's theme again. So good. No.
Abel says, I love this episode, but my only complaint is Cicada. Do you think the show's done enough to make him as unique as Thawne or Zoom? Those guys were good villains in both the physical and psychological sense, while Cicada is only physically threatening, in my opinion. Look at Shane.
What?
Could be Shane. Rick would have already been up those steps by now.
You know, Cicada hasn't wowed me. I think his power base is interesting, though undefined, and the actor is not doing it for me right now. He's just too meanie face. He's just always just not doing it for me. I mean, compare that to Tom Cavanaugh's subtlety. No chance does that compare.
Well, compare it to Agent Liberty, where like I feel like I get multiple emotions and charm
And layers.
from him.
Yeah.
Whereas like I don't feel like there's any charm from Cicada or the
He had charm in that one scene in the office with after the principal left. That was his charm. Like the past stuff, but when he's a villain and we see him now, he is squinty eyes and angry, and that's his note. And I want to hear more, but.
Jonathan says, guys, I have one more question. Do you think that Nora will be erased by the end of the season? Iris and Barry will end up having twins, and that's why in the premiere of season 4, Barry says we're gonna need more diapers.
I think it's an interesting theory. Maybe. I think it might be more likely that she dies, which is why Iris would know not that, you know, if she has her speed, she'll die.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But the no diapers thing, that's an interesting.
Yeah, it still hasn't came back yet. This house is bitchin'. Isn't that the only thing they translated out of that?
Yeah.
Right? It was this house is bitchin', right?
Yep.
Or is that what Barry said?
No, that's what they translate. It's like, all right, here it is. This house is bitching. Barry said something about Nora, and then he said the diapers thing, and a couple other things.
Vasilis says it was said that Flash writers requested to have the crossover on the 9th episode so they could do the story the way they wanted for their 100th episode.
It's a good call, I think.
Yeah, because Arrow kind of got stuck into the crossover. It worked out okay,
Yep.
I think, but...
And we've kind of like, you know, now that they know who Cicada is, they've like caught him, you know, but now he's away, and for an indeterminate amount of time, we can go and have some other stories.
I thought Nora was working with Stanley. Apparently they were partners in crime in Smallville.
Oh, huh.
Stanley
Yeah,
and Nora.
I guess so.
That's funny. Thank you, Robert Reyes. Jamie says, were you disappointed with the episode since they didn't achieve anything in the end and they didn't even show Barry using the flash ring?
Nope.
No, I mean, I feel like they at least got more information that Caitlin can use powers against Cicada. So that's something. And it progressed the language with Sherlock and stuff.
Yeah, and I think it was in episode 100. It was meant to be a look back, not a leap forward. So I really, really enjoyed it.
And then Half Grog, Half Shark says, so will we have the Cicada storyline and Reverse Flash storyline going at the same time, and will they collide somehow? Or will we end Cicada and then go into the Reverse Flash stuff?
Yeah.
What's going to be...
I'm not sure. I mean, Reverse Flash stuff, in the end, I think is in-game when it comes to the story of the Flash, right? I mean, we haven't even been introduced to the man. Like in his own story. Like, will we ever get, like, the story of the Reverse Flash where we can make sense of all this shit?
Like an origin?
Like, they could have, you know, seeding this, and then he could be next season, you know? And Cicada does the rest of the season. I'm not sure.
It'd be interesting if they build it up in this season to have Reverse Flash be the villain of next season.
Yeah.
Like, the whole season. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
And then you have a mix of, like, future and past and, I don't know, all this time stuff. We need a poll.
Poll. I'm gonna say probably the biggest thing that people are talking about are there going to be any consequences for the events that happened in this episode in the past in the future, whether it's Zoom or
Talking with Wells.
Reverse Flash, knowing now that he doesn't make it home. Wasn't much in Savitar, I guess.
In Savitar, no. There
Yeah.
would have been the Zoom coming out. I think there was the interaction with Wells.
Mm-hmm.
Could that have any difference or change or anything? There's the talking with Abdulr Thawne in the little room.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's wait, was there another one?
I think that's it.
That's
but
probably it.
I wanted to say it that way. That way people go down in the comments and say what they think affected it and what will change.
Was there any actions in the past that will be affecting our show in the future?
Or did they make it out scot-free and now we got to go from here on? See, the thing with Nora and Reverse Flash would be unaffected by their stuff if you vote no. But if that changed because it went back, I don't know. Give your theories down in the comments. Okay, and that's it. That was episode 100 of Flash. We're back for 101, which is the crossover.
Yes!
By the way, we talked about this last time. These polls we'll probably do when we come back next year. Next week, we probably won't do these polls, right? Because they won't have much to do with the crossover.
Next year sounds weird.
We'll
talk about them in the next episode.
To the future.
Not the crossover. Oh, button. Alright, did it. No.
Yep, 2 button hits. Twice the pride, double the fall, Aaron.
Huh?
Subscribe. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you come back next week for the crossover. Melanie will be here.